Hello friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. And I'm here today for another this and that video, which is a Monday vlog I do every week. And it's to keep you updated on various things going on, let you know what's going on in the garden, lead you back to some old videos, and just whatever I feel like talking about. And just understand these are videos that are shot only from the time it's shot to the time it publishes is only about 3 days, where all the rest of the videos you see can be 3 and 4 weeks out from the time they were shot. So that's one of the reasons I like keeping up on these Monday videos, so I can give you something that's more current to the actual time. But the several weeks of videos out is just a way that I can keep prepared if anything happens and life gets too crazy and I have to just take some downtime for a week, which I really need to do. I don't have to worry about getting behind. I just have to worry about getting ahead again later. So what this means is I'll be talking about several different topics. This isn't a one topic video. I have various videos on specific topics that are already out or that I will be doing. So let's get to the topics of today. And the first one I want to talk about is Usnea. It's also known most commonly as old man's beard or beard lichen. And it's all over in our area here in Rain Country. And I notice that it does tend to like to grow mostly on hardwoods. So where I got this, both these jars here, this is a tincture I've got making up, and that's the difference in color. I've noticed as it sat for a few days, the color has started to turn more gold. And I'm going to be putting it back in a dark cabinet. I just left it out so I could talk about it for this video. And this is just the lichen by itself. It's dried. I did try putting some in tea last night and it turned out pretty good. I think it's one of those things you don't want to overdo it as far as putting too much in there. The flavor might not be great, but I had it combined with ginger and lemon balm and it was a really nice flavor altogether. So I'm going to be doing a separate video on the old man's beard, but that's going to be down the road. So I just want to make sure you know about this to learn a little bit about it, and you can just do some research, but I will be compiling some different information and talking more about how I plan on using the old man's beard. It's good for many things, but I'll list off 3 right now just so you can start thinking about it. It's good taken internally as a tincture or even a tea to help with different infections throughout the body. It can also be used externally in a powder form added to salve or in an infused oil form for making a salve from. It's also very good for respiratory health. I've got a lot more stuff I want to talk about, so let's move on. One of the things I wanted to mention, I had my new dehydrating egg video come out this last week, but one of the things I didn't get in there is the easiest way. If you have the square or rectangular type silicone trays, or even if you're using parchment paper to dehydrate your eggs on, the easiest way to do that and then pour it into your blender or whatever you're going to process is to simply grab the corners, the opposite corners, and fold them up, lay it down, then grab the other opposite corners and fold them up. As you can see in this video clip right here, once you have it all clumped together in one place, it makes it far easier to pour into your blender without it spilling out everywhere. So I just wanted to throw that quick tip out there. And if you're interested in that video, I'll link to it in the description box down below, as well as any other videos or playlists I'll be mentioning, such as the herb profile playlist I have and been working on for going on 6 years now. So once I get the old man's beard video done, it will go in there along with the Camilla video I just shot. So that's going to be a few weeks before you see it, but I did do a video on Camilla Japonica in particular, talking about the uses of the plant as a whole, especially the flowers. So I did look this up if you saw my community post when I saw all the wonderful blooms coming on, and I kept meaning to look it up for the past few years and kept forgetting about, can you use the flowers for making tea as well as the leaves? And yes, you can, and they have a lot of great benefits to the skin and more. So be watching for that video to come out in a few weeks. But if your Camilla Japonicas are still blooming, go ahead and start collecting and dehydrating those flowers. As you can see, they dehydrate up beautifully, and that's something I'm going to start adding to my infused oil for skin cream. I always like having more herbs to choose from, since such as this last year I ran out of my dried honeysuckle, and I'm really particular about whatever herbs I put in there are from my own organic garden, and that gives me more to choose from. So when I run out of red clover or rose petals, I have other herbs I can use to keep those skin creams coming out, because they've been really popular. And also, if you're interested in making your own, you don't have to buy it from me. I do offer it in the store because people simply ask. And it all started from a video I did years ago when I first started my channel on how to make your own skin cream. But I'll link to my most recent one in the description box down below so you can make it yourself. Whatever herbs you have already growing or that you want to use or that you know you're not allergic to, then you can make your own infusion and then make your own skin cream using, you don't have to use shea butter, you can use mango butter if that works better for you, or whatever. So make your own blends. But anyway, I wanted to bring this up now, just in case you still have flowers. Some of you, I know yours are done now, and mine are getting close to being done. But if you still have some, get them dehydrated so you have them ready to go, and you can use them however you want. So moving on, talking a little bit about garden related stuff. One of the things I like to do is when I can get some organic green onions, like right now I've been getting them from Misfits, I've been getting more of them and planting more of them. Green onions are the easiest thing to grow when you just buy some good organic green onions. I go ahead and either use the green onion fresh right away, or I dehydrate it up, as you can see here, and mix it with some other dried onions, and it gets used in quite a bit of stuff. And then planting the white part, I just kind of pinch the roots a little bit and then stick it in the soil. You don't have to stick it down very deep, and within a few days you'll see new growth coming on the top of that white part. And the great thing is it'll keep giving you green onions through the whole season. Mine keep going clear up until, I'll have some that will keep producing the green clear up until early winter, and you just keep harvesting it and using it as you go. So that's what I like about growing green onions. Very easy. I also did finally get some Egyptian walking onions and got those planted this year too, because I've been hearing a lot of good things about those, and I've been meaning to do it for years, and then I keep forgetting. So anyway, we'll see how those do, and I'll give you an update down the road on those. As you can see right here, here's one of the trays of nettle that's going on my dehydrator. And yes, today I'm using the Nesco because we finally have another nice day, so I'm going to be running it on the solar power, along with dehydrating some violets, some more Camilla flowers. We just have a few more left, some dandelion, and whatever else I think to throw on the dehydrator today. But one of the things I wanted to say is when you've got herbs that you're dehydrating that have thick stems, what I do, especially if it's something I can use for tea, like lemon balm, peppermint, whatever it is, then I will just cut those thicker stems off because they take a long time to dehydrate. And then I use them immediately in tea that very evening. So that's what I'll be doing with those. And that way I can just keep the stuff that dries quicker all on here and not have to worry about those stems. And I'm still making the most of the plant. But with stinging nettle, the other thing is if you have a lot of stems, you don't want to make that much tea, throw them in your garden. They're great compost for anything that you're growing out there, just like comfrey. Oh, and by the way, my tomatoes are snapping back, even the ones that I was sure, some of them, yes, did completely die, but there was one particular cluster I thought was going to lose the whole thing. They're finally starting to snap back. Doing that, insulating them and adding some light in there really helped. We ended up finding a grow light that we bought for like $1 at a garage sale some years ago, and I forgot all about it. And Patrick did hang that up there, and I've just been leaving that on all the time because we've had so many dark days. Today's a nicer day, but I'm just going to go ahead and leave it on, and I'm finding that's been very helpful at getting my plants to snap back, as well as protecting them better from the cold. I'm not taking any pictures because I tried, and it's hard to get a good image with that reflective backing in there. And some other things when it comes to dried herbs I want to talk about. If you have chickens, ducks, turkeys, or anything like that, I recommend adding some antiviral herbs to their feed. And if it's in a dried form, they'll just eat it right down. Just mix it right in there. So a couple of those would be oregano, like I have here. Actually, I have a blend of oregano and thyme because this is what I'm using right now to add to my chickens' feed. You can add elderberries. You can also add chicory. I find my chickens love chicory because right now at this time, it won't be for long, but my main garden, my bigger garden section in the backyard is still open to the chickens, and my chicory keeps trying to grow, and they just keep eating those leaves down. And I'm not worried about it because it's going to, once I close them off, it'll take off and it'll be fine. but that chicory is really good for them, whether it be the root, the leaves, it does not matter. And in fact, I've got some chicory that came up again out front that I didn't want out there when I realized how big it was, and I'm going to be hacking that down and giving that to the chickens too, because they love it. So I recommend growing it for yourself. We do sell chicory seeds from our own plants on our store, along with some other herbs. I don't sell the oregano and the thyme because mine never has a chance to get to seed, but it's so much easier to grow those from starts anyway. It's easy to make starts. So if you know anyone's already growing them, just get some root cuttings from them and plant them and they'll grow. That's how I've made several different plants, is by doing that very same thing. And that's just a few of the herbs that you can add to their feed. But I'll be compiling some more information on what you can do to help protect your chickens from viruses, and your ducks and your turkeys. And another thing, especially like with chickens, with their bedding, with their nesting boxes, consider, and this will just help with the smell and just make it nice in there and prevent mites as well, is consider putting some fresh cut oregano, thyme, lavender, catnip. Any of those are great. Any of your mints, peppermint, it'll make it smell nice, and it'll help keep pests down in their nesting box, and you can throw it down in their bedding as well. I do that a lot when I've got a whole bunch coming in and I'm not going to be dehydrating it up. Oh yes, and dried nettle is really great to also mix in with your bird's feed, and my chickens love it when I do that. So if I got a lot of nettle, put it in there. It's adding more nutrition. Oh, and I want to show real quick, we occasionally get little gifts in the mail. We don't get to the post office very often. Sometimes it maybe a month may go by before we get down there. We're going to try to be good about it, though, with people sending in those quilt blocks. So we haven't gone yet this week, so I don't know if there's any in there already. I know someone said they already sent one, and I was kind of surprised. But if you're interested in being a part of that collaboration, by the way, I'll link to that video down below. And if you don't sew, don't worry. There's going to be other collaborations that I think somebody can find one that they can be a part of. I'll talk more about that in just a bit. But anyway, someone from Scotland sent me some dried wild garlic from her own garden and a couple of seed packs. So I got salsify and lovage seed right here. I wanted to say thank you for that, and thank you for all the nice letters that I get. There was a bunch of them down there because we don't get down there that often. So I'm still not done reading through them all, but thank you everyone for the kind words. Email's great though too. I'll read those a lot sooner because I check my email daily where I don't get down to the post office every day. This made me smile in particular because my dad, who adopted and raised me, was Scottish. So anything that has to do with Scotland always makes me smile because it makes me think of my father. So thank you so much for sending that. So now the next thing I want to talk about is the new skirt that I made for myself. And even though I'm not making skirts for other people or for hire, I do occasionally still have to make a new skirt for myself, or at least want to. And the other day I went to put on my very ragged black flannel skirt that I made as a work skirt for around the house, and I've patched so many times, and the drawstring broke. And then when I got to looking at the skirt, I realized how tattered the waistband was and that it was pretty much past the point of making it better. So I decided what I'm going to do, especially since it's flannel, is I'm going to go ahead and break it down and probably use most of the fabric for rags. So it'd make great shop rags. So I'm going to give a bunch of it to Patrick. But as such, I needed another work skirt. Well, a couple of years ago, I think it was, I had made a work skirt out of a black sheet that I found at a garage sale, but I didn't have enough of the sheet of that particular material to do a 4-tier, which is the only style I like to wear, so it goes pretty much clear to the ground. So instead, I took the remaining of that fabric and mix it up with a couple of plaid flannels that I had to do the 4th tier on the bottom, as you can see in this picture. And it was supposed to be a work skirt, but I liked it so much in the way it looked that I was not wearing it as a work skirt. I was saving it for a going out skirt. But now that my black flannel is pretty wore out, I wore the heck out of that thing, I tell you. I've decided I'm going to go ahead and make that one a work skirt, and as such, I thought, well, I need another skirt to wear out. So I made myself a new skirt, and using some black sheets, and then a whole bunch. I have just a bunch of different fabrics that I did for the 4th tier. And I was really excited about doing this because I made it so that it can go with just about anything, at least anything as green, blue, red, brown, or black, top wise. And I finally got to use my chicken fabric. I have a couple of different chicken fabric. Other than an apron I made for myself, I didn't have anything made with the chicken fabric. And by the way, here's a picture of the skirt you can see on my little mannequin there. And of course, I always make a matching hair tie that matches the tie on the skirt itself. And so now I got a new one, and there's two reasons I'm bringing this up is because that also goes right into the topic about the collaborations. So I think it was last week or the week before I mentioned the different collaborations I'm putting together with my subscribers. Again, don't forget to just check out that video so you can learn all about it. One involves making some 10-inch quilt blocks. And please go to that video if you're interested in, if you're sewing and you're interested in doing that, so you can learn more about the details on that. But the other collaborations are simply just sending photos. So I've already had several photos coming in of skirts and aprons and hair ties. So all the crafty things that are based off my instructional videos. Like someone even sent a picture of the hair tie she made from my hair tie video. So any of you have already made something off of those type of videos, anything related to crocheting or sewing, then it can be your homemade napkins too, or anything that fits into that category. Go ahead and send me those pictures to my email address, raincountryhomestead@gmail.com. I've got quite a few right now, but I would still like to get some more in before I put that video together. And please know, even if you don't sew or crochet, there's other collaborations I'm planning, and I'll let you know down the road. I'll be doing one on fermenting, like, you know, taking pictures of some of the ferments based off of the videos that you learn from me, like vinegars, wine, kimchi, whatever it is, beet kvass, natural sodas, so on and so forth. I probably will even do a food related one based off my different food recipes, the cookies, the breads, the one dish meals, and so on and so forth. So just be stewing on that, because I want everybody to have a chance to be a part of these different collaborations. So it's not just about crafting. That's just the first one I'm putting up, and I'm really excited about these collaborations. I think it'll just be a fun way for us to all be able to share with each other, and then me to be able to put a video out so you guys can see your own work out there on YouTube. And if you don't let me know if you want your name on there, I'll go ahead and just leave it off of there. And so if you want to stay anonymous as far as any of that goes. Same thing goes with the quilt blocks, because what I plan on doing as I go to pick, they start coming in through the mail, I'm going to be showing them in the this and that videos. And once I get enough, then I will let you know in the this and that video, because it's the one video that comes out once a week that is very timely. And I'll also probably put it in a community post, and it will probably be one of those rare times I'll go over to my Facebook page, my MeWe page, and just put an announcement in there to let everybody know, okay, I've got plenty of quilt squares, I don't need any more. I'm gonna go ahead and close this video out, but if there are any of the videos I mentioned that you're interested in, don't forget that I'll be linking them in the description box down below. If you're on a computer, you click on show more right down here below my channel name, and if you're on a smart device, it'll be in the form of a little gray triangle or arrow right over here, and you just touch that, open up the description box, and you should be able to find all the links, unless of course I forget to put one or two or more. Just let me know in a comment and I'll make sure it gets in there. It happens, especially if I have a lot of stuff to add. There's always something I seem to forget. If you're dehydrating anything right now, let us know what it is. If you've got any tips about some good antivirals that you'd like to give to your chickens, which, by the way, I was going to tell you, also you can add some colloidal silver to their water. I've been doing that too. Anyway, go ahead and throw your ideas in comments down below so people can learn from you as well. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Take care, and God bless.